What is up, Squared Nation? Welcome back to the Four Corners. I owe all of you a very sincere apology. It's been like about a month since I've uploaded a podcast, and I'm going to be completely honest with you. There's a lot of reasons as to why that is. Me being lazy, a lot of stuff going on, transitioning from summer to fall with my family and stuff. Nothing bad, just busy adult stuff, and unfortunately something had to be sacrificed for all that, and it was just not my priority to continue to bring out episodes of this podcast. We did have a couple things planned. I did plan a conversation with Richard Zapp. I did plan a conversation with Jordan Markle. I did plan a conversation with Ray Julia of the Senzu Bean podcast a while back. But combinations of just the unwillingness to do it, real life situations, and of course the dreaded, equipment malfunctions that I've had the past couple of weeks. So that's what's been going on over here. I do apologize for all of you that look forward to these on a weekly basis. We're definitely going to get back to our consistent upload schedule this coming week. So I kind of wanted to just clear the air. We don't have a special guest with us today, so this is going to be a special solo upload from me, just to go over some housekeeping stuff, just an update. It's not going to be anything groundbreaking, no like hard-hitting conversations or anything like that. Just to let you guys know that, we haven't forgotten about you, the listener. We haven't forgotten about what we do here as far as the effort to bring these out consistently. But just a couple of things had to get done before I can continue. Now, with everything in the green and we're all moving forward, we'll start getting to where we need to be as far as more consistent with our uploads. So the first thing I want to talk about, thank you guys for just staying with me for that early laundry list of things and bullet points I had to get through. But the first thing I want to talk about specifically is we officially have all of our reveals for the draft box, the upcoming draft box 4. And personally, I was a little underwhelmed at the reveals. There have been expansion products in the past that have been revealed that have just been really good, whether it's a theme booster or just like an expansion set with heroes and villains or the introduction of the multicolored cards. I feel like Draft Box 4 is definitely a standalone thing. It's constructed to be played in a draft format, which is cool because that's something that I do like, because that's where the real deck builders come out and they show I can build a deck and have success with it. And I get it. There's a lot of cards that are specifically made to function within the set for draft purposes. But looking at them as a whole, how they're going to affect the meta moving forward, everything just seems very, very watered down and washed away. Now, with that being said, there are a couple of cards that, allow for some really cool interactions. So I guess my highlights would be for red, the new Majin Buu, the 4-drop 15k, that when you play him, you get a 3 or less from your drop area. I think that's going to be a really good card. I'm already thinking about Chain Attack Trunks combos with it. Being able to play Chain Attack Trunks, bring in the Majin Buu off of Chain Attack, and then Majin Buu's auto resolves to bring out Pan from the drop area to give you at least 2 bodies with double strike, and if you're playing a red leader, 3 bodies with double strike, and everything gets plus 5k. So I'm already thinking about that nifty combo. I'm sure a lot of you guys have as well. So that's probably my highlight for red. There are definitely a couple other good cards. I do like Gallic Cannon, the counterplay card. I think is really, really good. For 1 red energy, you can stop anything that's 15k or less from being played. I think it's amazing. I think red right now is probably the best color in the game, and Bandai is continuing to support the color because it's definitely been probably the weakest color in the past. So I'm glad to see that. For blue specifically, I didn't really see too much. I'm definitely happy that we're getting more Universe 7 stuff for Tournament of Power support, but nothing is really too crazy. The TN is nice. The Android 17 and 18 are really nice, especially because they're 2-drops. Especially the Android 18 is really good. 2-drop 15k crit is nice. But I like the Frieza. I mean, you guys all know I'm a big fan of the U7 Gohan leader, where you can combo cards from your battle area to draw 2. So specifically, I'm looking forward to the 1-drop blue Roshi negate, and I'm looking forward to the Frieza that you can continue to recur from your drop area for free combo. I think that's going to be really nice. I think that leader has a lot of potential if it's built properly. And now that we're moving forward to a slower format, you know, we're going more turn 4, turn 5 as opposed to turn 2, turn 3. I think a lot of different things are going to come out of the woodwork, and I'm really excited to see all of the future creativity that we're going to get in the game moving forward. So I'm definitely going to be, you know, hunting down those Friezas on my radar. The green color specifically, I really was like, it was meh. It was really underwhelming, except for the 4-drop Piccolo. I think the Piccolo is really good. I think it gives Namekians a nice little boost, you know, being able to combo it off with the Power Booster Piccolo that just brings in a Namekian. It's really good. I think Namekians are a very slept on archetype. Even in the anime and the manga, they've definitely always been like the redheaded stepchild of the Saiyans. Like, Saiyans are like, oh, everybody loves Saiyans, you know, with the transformation and the power levels and stuff. But Namekians are pretty cool. I think they deserve their due. You know, Piccolo's always been such a solid character, you know, in the anime and everything like that, you know, and his impact on the show as far as, you know, being a really interesting character with a lot of growth. So it's nice to see Namekians getting some of their support there. Again, nothing too meta breaking or game breaking or anything like that, but it's just nice to see them get something. And then for yellow today. So today, you know, we're obviously recording this on a Friday. So hopefully you guys can enjoy, you know, some nice little podcast action on the long weekend, you know, while we spend this last weekend of summer with our families before we get back to school season and just regular work season and getting ready for the holidays coming up. So today they revealed the yellow stuff, and a lot of it was like it was like hit or miss for me. Some of the cards were really good. I really like the 3-drop Gine, that when you play her, she has Sparking 3 and she plays a 2 or less. I think that's got a lot of synergy with the Anniversary Box Bardock that we got. And when you tap a card, you draw a card. When you tap a card with a skill, you get to draw a card. I just really wish they would have made the Gine 3 or less, because it would have been nice to bring in the Power Charge Bardock off of her. That would have been super cool. Bringing in that 3-drop 15k that swings and draws or gets double strike. I don't know why they're trying to make these cards so super fair, especially if it's supposed to be for like draft. But, you know, I get it. You know, they want to make too many broken cards. There was also some interesting Frieza stuff. The Ginyu card is gorgeous. I don't know how good it's going to be, but it's nice. Like, the artwork is super nice. And the fact that it's an SR is going to even look prettier in foil. The new Bardock Ape, I don't like that it's 2 energy to combo with. But I guess if you want to play March and to get it out, you know, off of March, you're going to draw 2 cards off of March, and then you'll draw 1 card off of the Ape and rest something. And if you have the other Bardock in play, you'll draw another card. So I can see a couple combos, some nifty combos there. But I don't like 2 energy for that Ape, especially with all these counterplays rolling around. Like, I feel like if you're going to waste 2 energy to combo something, you're just asking to get preemptive or denied or something like that. So, and then, of course, the most busted card ever is that 6-drop King Vegeta. Now, the problem I have with 6-drop King Vegeta, for those Yu-Gi-Oh players that are listening to this podcast, it's skill drain. Like, you just play him, and he's just like, yeah, cool, nothing works. So he's a 6-drop 25k, 0 cost 5k combo power, so no one's going to hesitate to just jam 4 of these guys in their deck. And then just every other battle card on the board has their skills like negated. Like, your battle cards, your opponent's battle cards, like, they can't do anything. So it's just insane. Like, the idea of that, you can't one-shot remove it, you can't spot remove it, you can't mass board wipe anything. Like, you literally cannot do anything to respond with this card unless you're going to have a combination. That's the other thing too, a combination of extra cards to get rid of it. So he's a 25k. So your Transcendent Strikes don't work because it's 20k or less. If they're at turn 6, Father Son Kamehameha doesn't work. I believe Father-Son Gallic Gun can bounce it back to the hand, but that's 2 energy. And like I'm obviously Mafubo works. Nobody's ever gonna attack with him. There's no counterplay that responds to it, except for Crusher Ball. But you still have to get something on board that's gonna swing for at least 25k and combo up, and hope your opponent doesn't combo out of it. There's just so many things that this card is going to create issues in the meta with. And like my biggest worry is I'm not sure how super combos interact with him, because he specifically states all other battle cards skills are negated, but super combos, they're battle cards, but they're being used in the combo area. So I don't know if there's going to be some type of ruling where he only affects battle cards in the battle area, or like he doesn't affect cards in the hand or anything like that. But from what I'm reading, as far as like official rulings are concerned, let me know what you guys think, but I don't think you'll be able to activate your super combos auto if he's on the board. So if that's the case, that's going to be really rough, because then you're going to have to just literally combo up and lose advantage to get rid of him on the board. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all that pans out as far as like interactions and stuff, with super combos, and if he actually does prevent you from drawing and gaining, or at least going even with your advantage. Because swinging at a 25k, with something that's either even or less and having to combo up without replacement kind of sucks. But yeah, I think for the most part, I think we'll be okay. Like I said, we're in the midst of a turn 4, turn 5 metagame right now. So maybe getting him out on 6 is a little too greedy, unless you're playing some type of objection or ramp deck. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I believe the draft box is due out at the end of September, and then if I'm not mistaken, is it October or November? I'm pretty sure November is set 8, but in October I think we get something else. I think it's those special Gogeta and Broly like reprinted special sets, which are going to introduce the first like couple of new multicolor cards, like the different color combinations. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get red, blue, and we're going to get red, yellow, I think, if I'm not mistaken from what we've seen in the previous scans. But, we'll see. I've been happy with set 7 so far. I'm sure a lot of you have been as well. The meta's pretty diverse. It's a very skillful format. There's been a lot of decks introduced. There's been a lot of different combinations and different successful archetypes and stuff like that. I still think it's going to iron out into be a triangle format. I think Toa, even though primarily she's an anti-meta deck, is going to be at the top of the pack because everyone's playing meta decks right now. So just she inherently has a good matchup against the field. I do think any Kaioken deck is going to be in there as well. And I think just red decks, and I guess you can lump up red with Kaioken, because I know people have had success with the Yamcha leader with the Kaioken engine. I'm not sure about U6 veggies. I think they're a really good best of 1 deck, but I think they lose in siding because Kaba is so restricted to what you can use as far as battle cards that have to be Universe 6. So I'm not exactly sure what the specific points of the triangle are going to be, but I can definitely see a triangle format coming in the near future. But right now, let's just enjoy what we have. I know there's an Orlando event coming up here next week in September, for the PPG Pro Play Tour. So that'll be exciting to see what does well over there. I have a couple of my teammates going out and representing no counters, no combos, and it's going to be interesting to see what makes the field and who's playing what. I definitely think Toa is going to get a huge spike in appearances because of the success of Jordan Markle previously at one of the most recent events. I definitely think Shenron decks are still going to be very, very powerful. So not much has changed, but a lot has changed at the same time. So on the local level, of course, it's totally different from the competitive scene, but on the local level, there's been a lot of diversity in the meta. Obviously, you guys know I've been experimenting with King Vegeta and some other decks here, and I really do think it's a strong contender for probably, if not the best red deck, because the leader does so much. I still think Pan if piloted properly and built well, can do a lot of serious damage simply because Chain Zeno is so potent at resetting the game. If at any point the scale dips in your opponent's favor, you can just hit the big reset button. The only problem is I do see it necessary to run 4 Zenos just to make sure that you always have it at any given time, especially if you have to bait out like preemptive strikes or denial of hopes or any type of counterplay. It's going to be rough playing 4 Zenos and then just late game having to shotgun all your super combos for defense and just draw Zenos for 0 combo power. I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes to just kind of utilize Zeno a little better. But as of right now, I think that Pan, if it's going to make any noise or if it's going to be successful in this meta, should be played mono red. I have experimented with green-red Pan, and I don't really like it too much. I can see the trade-off, being able to play your counterplays for defensive purposes, but also activating Pan's ability to draw a card seems really, really strong. The only problem is the deck seems super inconsistent to me, and there just doesn't seem to be too much going on because you're primarily focusing more on the turtle aspect and the defensive aspect, whereas Pan has been kind of like, by turn 4, turn 5, the latest, you're really making your game-winning push. Like if you can build up a board, protect your board, and then chain attack Pan, give everything double strike and 5k boosts, that's usually where the kill turn lies. But now you're focusing more on this multicolor red-green strategy, and you're just naturally going to extend the game over the course of time because you want to be able to play your pieces. So I don't know. I mean, those of you that have had success with red-green Pan, I'm not trying to take anything away from you by all means, but I think as far as full competitiveness, I think mono red Pan is the way to go if you're trying to do that, especially with the introduction of familial bonds. Being able to literally play 80% of your deck for 2 energy just seems way too good right now. The other thing I want to touch on is obviously if you guys have been following us here at No Counters, No Combos, you might or might not be aware that we've started a live stream on Mixer. So the whole purpose behind that was to just get more and more gameplay for the community to view. I think we do have a very good, healthy, competitive community here in northern New Jersey. So I don't feel like we're ever going to be in a position where you're watching games that aren't going to benefit you. But I think we do have a lot of skilled players here in New Jersey. So sharing that gameplay with those who are willing to watch it is just a good way of visual practice, if you will. So we did kind of just start experimenting with that over there on Mixer, and we are going to plan on streaming at minimum 2 times a week, at maximum 3 times a week for now. We did have the unfortunate situation happen this week where we lost one of our local stores, or one of our LGSs. They decided to no longer continue supporting the Dragon Ball Super card game. I'm not going to mention any names, but it was a pretty healthy scene, and we left a couple people, kind of, in the dumps a little bit. Myself included. I really liked going to this specific location on a weekly basis, but we wish them the best, and we thank them for the time that they gave us, and hopefully they can continue to be successful in whatever they choose to move forward with. But I'm here working hard to try to replace that event or that venue with something else, but all things take time. So for right now, our local scene has taken a little bit of a hit, but we still have a pretty good relationship with one another and a closeness to where we can just kind of meet up, and if we really need to play test, we can just kind of get together and play some games. Doesn't have to be at a game shop or anything like that. So that's the one benefit of having a really close-knit community is we all know each other. We've all been to each other's houses, so it's not that big of a deal as far as where we're gonna play. It's more along the lines of when we're gonna play. So other than that, we're, like I said, we're hard here at work. We're trying to, figure everything out for you guys. For those of you listening in the northern Jersey area, just I hope, don't lose hope. We're still, working on stuff. I hope you guys are patient, because it's definitely going to pay off, in the long run, towards the end of the fall. Also, Shout out to TCG Player. If you guys haven't been made aware yet, we recently started an affiliation with TCG Player. Obviously, that's the most popular site when it comes to buying, especially singles for Dragon Ball. Some people get sealed product and other card accessories there. So we've actually started an affiliation with them. I'm going to be linking my special, affiliate code on YouTube, anywhere I can fit links, that way when you guys go to TCG Player, if you use our personalized link for no counters, no combos, it'll help us out a little bit, with contributions to growing our content, and what we put out and keeping the community flowing. Obviously, you don't have to. It's not like a mandatory type of thing, but it doesn't hurt. It helps us. So if the extra 2 seconds that it'll take to click our link and go to TCG Player, I think it's all worth it in the long run. So we really would appreciate that. Just keep an eye out for the links in description boxes down on YouTube and on Podbean as well. So we've been working on that, which is really cool. I was really excited when they reached out to us. We're really happy about it, and we hope that everything moves forward, with the recent partnership. Also, this is where I've kind of said everything that I've had to say that's positive, and now it's going to get into a little bit of negative territory. There's been a lot of I don't even know what the right word what's the right word for me to say at this point. There's been a lot of drama going on, especially on Facebook. Now, I'm not here to take sides. I'm not here to air out anybody's dirty laundry. I'm not here to add fuel to the fire or stir the pot, whatever instigative metaphor you want to use. I'm simply here to just address the fact that it really shouldn't be going on. We're all a part of the same community. We're all playing the same game. Yes, people can get competitive, which is fine, because competitiveness, encourages, excellence, in my opinion. If you were doing something if you were competing and there was no level of competition, you'd get lazy and you wouldn't want to improve. So I think competitiveness is healthy. I think rivalries are healthy. I think, having that person that, for the life of you just need to beat them always, all the time, to have that competitive edge. I think all that's fine and dandy, because that comes with the territory of playing or just taking a part in something with competitive nature. However, I don't think there's room, nor do I think there's a necessity for negative remarks or putting people down, or just talking, badly about certain individuals. Now, again, I'm not going to get into details. You guys know where you can find all of it. I just think that if there's bad blood between our player base, and people don't have to get along, right? You don't have to like everybody. You don't have to get along. It's the same thing when you go to work. You don't have to be best friends with your coworkers. You don't have to be best friends with your other employees or upper management or anything like that. But you have to maintain some level of respect and professionalism. And it sounds a little crazy because we're talking about a trading card game, but there's still individuals that are taking part in this activity that deserve your respect. We're all in the same boat. We all take time out of our lives to enjoy the game, spend time with one another, compete, converse, build relationships, build friendships. We all do it. We all take part in it. We all are part of the same team, so to speak. So, no, do you have to like everybody? Absolutely not. But you have to maintain a level of respect for your brothers, essentially, because we're all a part of the Dragon Ball Super community. And for me, in my opinion, I look at it as an extended fraternity, a group of brothers, a group of individuals that have gotten together, with a common a common likeness, and it would be nice for us to all just kind of get along, so we can play in the sandbox together, right? So yes, is there going to be trash talk? Of course. Is there going to be times where you don't agree with people? Of course, because like I said, that's all a part of competitiveness and wanting to be the best, and you should still strive for all that, but you should do it in a way where you don't have to put anybody down in the process. Certain people have made their choices, whether it's something to do with a hobby or something to do with a professional career. It doesn't matter. That's their choice, and they have every right to make that choice, and we should be supportive. As long as they're not committing a crime, or as long as they haven't been proven of doing anything against the rules or anything like that, we should all get behind it and support it, because everybody has to start somewhere. And when this game first started, the player base had to increase in order for it to get to where it was today. And if we would have had all this bad blood back in the day, I guarantee you the game would have never survived. So I know it sounds a little cheesy for me to just kind of get up and say on a soapbox and tell everybody, hey guys, let's all just get along. But that's how I really feel. Yeah, people trash talk, sure. People make fun of people, sure. But when you're going at somebody personally, and you're throwing knives, there's consequences to that too. So, that's how I feel about it anyway. I mean, am I a saint? No. I'm sure I've trash talked, to people before. I'm sure I've said some things that I regret saying, because we're all human. It's part of human nature. But to purposely put somebody down and to purposely tell them that the decisions that they've made are completely wrong, that's not our place. We're supposed to just be supportive of each other and help the community grow and get to the point where we all want it to be, which is top 3 of our TCGs right now. So I'm gonna stop with the ranting and stuff like that. I'm just gonna finish off strong here, but for the most part, just enjoy it. It's supposed to be fun. It's a card game. I have fun playing. We all get along here in our area, and I just wish that everybody could continue to do the same. So that's pretty much it. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an update and let you know what was going on. I know this is a little shorter than normal. I know it's probably really boring just listening to me talk with no guest or anything like that. Trust me, I prefer having people on here with me, which also reminds me, if anybody listening ever has any interest of being on the podcast, just reach out. You can send us an email at nocounters.nocombos@gmail.com, or you can reach us on our multiple social media platforms, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, our YouTube comment, now on Mixer. There's so many ways to get in touch with us. If you're interested in just having a conversation about the Dragon Ball Super card game, the more the merrier. We welcome anybody and everybody. If you have anything you want to talk about or get off your chest or whatever the case may be, you're more than welcome to come on. And I enjoy it a lot more than just ranting for a half hour about almost nothing. So with that being said, we're going to get on out of here. Again, we will resume our more consistent uploading schedule in the next coming week. I'm going to work on getting us a special guest for this upcoming episode, and we're going to start, coming back at it, consistently like we used to. So I do apologize for those of you guys that I've let down. I do apologize for the lack of consistency and the lack of content. But for those of you who have asked, I'm glad that, you guys enjoy the podcast, and I hope you guys continue to come back and leave me your feedback and let me know how I can improve and make things better for you guys, because I just want everybody to enjoy what we're putting out there. So it's been great so far, and we appreciate all the support. But with that being said, we're going to get on out of here. Thank you guys so much for listening. And don't forget to follow us on Podbean as well. You can listen to these podcasts on YouTube. And I hope for those of you who are listening that are driving, safe trip. Don't get too distracted on the road there, and hopefully you get to your destination in one piece. Let's enjoy this last weekend of summer with our families before the grind restarts up again this following Tuesday. So thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you next week. Be there or be squared.